Part 2. In the last video, we talked about the issues that I have with the art style in terms of aesthetics, but something that I failed to mention was other people's gripes and my thoughts on them. While I have plenty of issues with 343's art style, there are some things that I do appreciate, such as the Forerunner designs in Halo 4, the look of the Plasmacaster, which I love, by the way. The Plasmacaster looks like it was ripped straight out of a Bungie-era Halo game. But there are some things in this new art style that the community seems to hate the look of, but can't quite seem to explain why. So here's my theory on some of these designs. So I thought we might as well start this off with something simple. Let's look at the Storm Rifle. What I believed happened was during Halo 4's development, 343 got all the weapons of Halo and sorted them into groups. You have your handgun equivalents, your sniper equivalents, precision weapons, assault rifles, shotguns, rocket launchers, and so on. And they said, well, since we have this class system, we should redesign the look of certain weapons so they look more like the class that they fall into, so that it doesn't confuse new players in the loadout menus. So the classic plasma rifle, which was essentially the Covenant equivalent of the assault rifle, was essentially redesigned and turned into a rounder version of the UNSC assault rifle. It looks like an assault rifle, complete with the stock, monitor thing on the top, and grip. And that's the problem with it. It looks too human. What was great about the plasma rifle was how it was sort of alien. It's held in one hand, it has this bizarre beam of energy going down the two halves of the gun, it even has these strange hieroglyphs on the sides that would light up as it began to overheat. It was alien, it looked extraterrestrial, and it was almost like a reference to the little green men and their death rays, when you see an elite holding one in one hand as he patrols around looking for you. It was classy and original. Now that's not to discredit the work from the artists that went into the Storm Rifle, because I'm sure some poor guy had to draw like 50 different versions of this thing, only to have them select one to work with and model, and have the other 49 pieces of art thrown out, all that work gone to waste. Now we can sit here and criticize the new looks of some of the new weapons, but 343 also has a bad habit of changing the look of things that honestly don't need to be touched. I present to you all the Halo 5 rocket launcher. A weapon so hated that the community literally rejected it and forced 343 to return the classic Spanker rocket launcher. This is one case where I have a few opinions. The Halo 5 rocket launcher isn't necessarily bad looking. In fact, add some rust to it, maybe a darker shade of green, and I could see Sergeant Johnson carrying this thing around before shooting off the leg of a scarab in Halo 3. It, funny enough, looks very fitting in the Halo universe, in my opinion. The issue is, it's the replacement for this. One of the most iconic weapons in gaming. 343 replacing the Spanker rocket launcher is the equivalent of the Christian Church redesigning the cross, the United States changing the colors on a traffic light, and so on. This weapon has made its mark in gaming, and you guys decided, yeah, it needs to go. We need something new. Some pointless redesigns also extend to the vehicles, like the Scorpion, which I'm like, why? The Scorpion was never really this original looking vehicle, but at the end of the day, did you guys need to make it look like a generic tank? It kind of robs the Scorpion of its identity. Same with the Pelican. I mean, how the new Call of Duty Infant Warfare, or whatever they're calling it, has a vehicle that respects the look of the Pelican more than the 343 Pelican. On a side note, I did want to bring something up. So I have a friend who is actually studying to get into a job that involves assembling aircrafts and stuff, and he's told that on an engineering level, the 343 Pelican technically shouldn't even be able to fly based on its design. He described it simply as, okay, so this thing is a big fat box with tiny wings taped to the side and this thing glued to the back. Well, the Bungie era actually is designed to fly because, as you can see, the entire body of the vehicle is shaped like a glider. But it's alright, it's a video game vehicle, but this Pelican is just another example of, did it really need to be redesigned? It honestly looked fine before. You didn't need to touch it. Now, thankfully, Halo Wars 2 is actually using both models because, despite this not even coming close to replacing our beloved Pelicans. It has its fans, and I'm glad to see it proudly flying side by side with the much preferred original Pelican in Halo Wars 2, and hopefully we see the original design back in Halo 6. Now, when it comes to the redesigns of the Covenant vehicles, I'm divided. In previous games, what we fought were basically Covenant machines forged in the foundries of High Charity and branded with the Prophet's seal of approval. And what we see in Halo 5 is basically the Elites take on the Covenant vehicles. There's no more Prophets, so now the Elites are basically making their own vehicles. Want to know how an Elite would design a Wraith? Here. Want to know how an Elite would design a Phantom? Here. In the case of some of these vehicle redesigns, I have an amount of respect for them. Unlike the Scorpion, Elites themselves, and other designs in Halo 5 that clearly were just redesigned so they could look cooler and more badass. These designs are very creative and have a lot of personality to them. Do I want them to replace the old designs? Oh, no. Oh, no. But I don't want to see them gone. If anything, this can help distinguish friendly Elite from foe Elite on the battlefield. Have the friendly Elites, like the Arbiter, riding into battle on these beautiful creations, while our enemies use the iconic old designs that we have fought against for so many years. When it comes to some of these redesigns, I think it's important for 343 to look at what we loved about the original designs. The new shotgun? Why not add the lights on the back of it that we loved? The new sniper? Why not make the steel black and give it a green LED? There are tiny things that you can do that can allow yourselves creative freedom to try something a bit different while also paying respect to the original. When it comes to redesigning classic Halo looks, I think it's important to remember the fans' voices in the matter. It made me feel like there was some passive aggressiveness from 343 when I saw that not only was the sniper, shotgun, Pelican, and many other designs from Halo 4 that the community were not happy with sticking in Halo 5, they also went out of their way to change more things that we loved the look of, like the Scorpion, rocket launcher, and so on. So Halo currently has its preview program thing, so why not select a few lucky Halo fans in there to be part of a Halo focus group test, and run some concept art by them in a controlled environment to get their thoughts. Make sure that they are big fans of Halo and not, Call of Duty fans that you guys are trying to appeal to. Obviously, it's important to make sure that things don't get leaked, but I feel right now listening to fans is very important because you guys are losing your fan base. I want Halo to succeed. I make these videos because I love Halo, and I want to see 343 give us the next Halo 3. And maybe if these videos and your comments get to the right people, we can begin seeing real change. I want to begin discussing other things that the community has issues with, such as the sound design, because I do have very interesting opinions about that, as well as other things regarding the storytelling and level design in the series, so I'll leave it all up to you. I can continue to break down the art style in a part 3 video, but if you feel that this issue with the art has been laid to rest, let me know and tell me what I should be making in the next video. And thank you all so much for sharing these videos around, weighing in your opinions in the comment section. It really helps to see the community begin talking and dissecting these things. And guys, I'll see you on the next video, and keep on being awesome.